Hi everyone. Today we're thinking about wellness, and as I was thinking this week about wellness, I was thinking about the Old Testament story of a man called Naaman. It's a story that encourages us not to look down on others and think we're superior. It's a story that helps us to think that we should always seek help when we need it. It's a story that encourages us to do small things well. Let me unpack the story in a couple of minutes. It's an Old Testament story about Naaman, who's a 5-star general. He's a great strategist, he has great courage, he's a great thinker, he has victory after victory. His status, reputation is growing and growing, he's getting wealthier and wealthier. Life is looking great for him, except one day he discovers a little discolored patch on his hand. It's the first sign of leprosy. He knows it. He's filled with dread. He knows that in those days, 3,000 years ago roughly, it was a death sentence. So he's got everything going for him, money, wealth and power, but he's helpless to heal himself. To cut a long story short, a Jewish slave that works for him tells his wife, "Look, I know someone who can help you, a prophet named Elisha. They can probably heal you if you only go and visit them." So he's reluctant because he's at the top of the pile, really important guy, and she's a slave girl at the bottom of the pile. So he's reluctant to take her advice because he thinks he knows better than her. But eventually he visits, reluctantly, Elisha's house. But Elisha is very busy, and Elisha sends his intern out, like his apprentice out, to meet with this powerful general. And with a simple message, go down to the river Jordan and wash yourself and you'll be healed. Again, Naaman is angry. He thinks, who's telling me? Last time it was a slave. This time it's this apprentice intern. What would he know? So he doesn't go down the river and his leprosy gets worse. Finally, his team of servants get together and say, we've got to help him. Someone needs to speak to him. So one brave servant goes to see him and says, look, Naaman, you're great at the big things, the showy things. You lead people into battle. You work out powerful strategies for victory, but you're lousy at the small things. You won't even go to the river and bathe, and it might heal you. So eventually he follows his pride. He listens to the servant. He goes down to the river. He dips himself in 7 times as the prophet had told him. And hey, he gets healed. What do we learn from this story? 3 things. We need people. We need each other. It's unhealthy to be independent and self-sufficient like Naaman was. He was proud. He was independent. He was reluctant to receive the help that he needed. We never want to be like him. We always want to be people who welcome help from others. Secondly, we learn, I think, from this story that we should never see ourselves superior to others. Naaman thought he was better than others, and that prevented him getting the help that he needed. It's not good. We need to recognize that we need help from one another. That's what communities do. They support one another. We are interdependent. We need each other. And third thing, it seems in the story that he didn't do small things well. We need to do small things well in order to help our wellness. And that might mean speaking kindly. It's a small thing, but it helps people feel better. It might be listening well. It might be small things like brushing your teeth or having enough sleep at night. It might be small things like washing the dishes when your mum asks you. It might be small things like tidying your room or being a good friend or sending an email of encouragement. Small things count in the pursuit of wellness. Let's learn from Naaman's mistakes. God bless.